Okie dokie. We're about ready to go. We're about to get things done. Or get some reading done. Oh wait, no, we're not. I need to wait a second. What? BRB. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. We're good to go. Yeah. I sat on my headphones. It hurt a lot. That hurt quite a bit. But I'm gonna survive. I'm made of steel and grit and gravel and charcoal and ash and bone. And nothing could hurt me. Just words. Nah, words can't hurt me. Actually, the headphones hurt when I sat on them. That hurt a lot. That hurt me quite a bit. But I'm good. I'm gonna tough it out. I'm not bleeding. That means nothing happened. I'm like freaking Zoro. Nothing happened. I'm freaking Zoro. I love Zoro. I wish I was Zoro. No, I don't. I don't wish I was Zoro. Maybe I wish I was an explorer. Like one of these guys. Like what are we gonna learn about? These guys, what are we gonna learn? Come on. Earbuds, nice. Let's get where you freaking learn. Light on the Dark Continent. Yeah. Here we are. Well, let's get ready. Let's get ready. Okay, the Dark Continent. What am I doing? Yeah, the Dark Continent. If you turn to the map on page 3, which is this, we have the map right here on page 3. That's a little darn dear map. If you turn to the map on page 3, yeah, you will see that the northern shores of Africa were known to the people of Europe in the days of Marco Polo. In the days Marco Polo began his adventurous journey. In every ancient times, a great empire existed in Egypt, and the people of Europe had long known, colonized, and traded with the hell's that? Trade with the northern parts of Africa, which lies on the Mediterranean Sea. Not far inland from the Mediterranean, however, is the Sahara Desert. Ooh, spooky, scary. That's where the Tuaregs live, I think, in the Sahara. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm usually wrong. The largest desert in the world, which is about the same size as the whole continent of Europe. Whoa, that's freaking huge, bud. That's bigger than I've ever freaking seen in my life. The whole continent of fucking Europe. Jesus Christ. Thousands of miles of hot, dry sand acted as a barrier, which cut off the central and southern parts of Africa from Europe. Ooh, interesting. We have read how the sailors of Portugal voyaged farther and farther down the west coast of this great continent, until two of them, Bartholomew Diaz, yay, and Vasco da Gama, yeah, sailed around its southern tip. They touched the tip. Following the route mapped out by the Portuguese on their way to the east, many other seamen sailed around the coast of Africa. Woo! Some of them landed at the native villages along the coast, where they obtained fresh supplies of food and water. Slave ships, too, called at places on the shores of Africa, where they loaded their holds with black laborers for the colonies in North and South. See, the slave trade. Woo, slave trade, woo! Yay, slave trade, yay! Everybody's favorite thing in the world. Woo! But nothing of the interior of the great holds with something then we know to the people of Europe. What the hell? Something then was known to the people of Europe. The shores of Africa. Ooh, spooky. Spooky. Woo. But nothing of the interior of the great continent. For a long time, the land was thought of as Africa, the unknown, or the dark continent. Even today, there are parts of Africa which are not too well known. Actually, not anymore. After 70 years, kind of explored most of it. We got LiDAR from planes. We got drones. We got all sorts of shit to explore. As for that crazy place. For a long time, the interior of Africa remained a land of mystery to the people of Europe. Men were afraid to travel far inland. They feared the terrible heat, the great deserts, the tropical jungles, the high mountains, the fierce wild animals, the swarms of harmful insects, and the savage people. In shape, the continent of Africa is like a porridge dish turned upside down. I don't know what that. I don't have a reference for that. The central part is a high plateau in which there are many lakes. The land slopes down suddenly from the plateau to a narrow, flat strip of land along the coast, and 4 great rivers and their tributaries flow from the plateau region to the seas. Oh yeah, so I think it's in what's it called? What's that freaking place called? Not Ethiopia. Is it Ethiopia? Kenya? I don't know. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn where it is. I don't remember these things too good, so we're gonna learn. These rivers are the Congo, the Niger, the Nile, and the Zambezi. Because they flow from highland to lowland, many waterfalls are to be found along their courses. Yeah, you will see by the map on page 209 that the equator runs across the central part of Africa. No freaking way! Right there, you see that shit? No freaking way! That's insane. Can't believe it did that. No freaking way. On either side of this imaginary line, the climate is hot and tropical all year round. This is true except for one region near Lake Victoria, Nyanza. In this region, there are high mountains whose peaks are always covered with snow. The climate in northern and southern Africa is warm, 12 months of the year. Ooh, that's pretty crazy. In northern Africa, as we have seen, lies the Sahara, the world's largest desert. Yeah, we know. We just learned about. You just told about it earlier. It's where it's where the people travel, and there's lots of. Wait, where they film The Martian? I think that was Jordan. Never mind. In the southern part of the continent, there's another desert, the Kalahari. For years, these two deserts were like doors closed against white men. It was difficult to journey through them to the lands beyond. Yeah, it's a huge freaking desert. Of course, it's gonna be scary to go through there. You know, it's a scary place. In northern Africa, as we have seen, lies the Sahara. We already read that. Many animals which you have seen at the zoo come from Africa. Some of them are large, strong. Oh, we have the pictures of the freaking animals for you. Yeah. Some of them are large, strong, fierce, and dangerous. Monkeys, snakes, leopards, and antelopes. Hippos, hippopotamuses, and crocodiles come from the hot tropical jungles near the equator. Those are all these freaking scary little animals. I would eat most of them. I would eat a giraffe. Definitely eat a giraffe. I would eat what's that? A kudu? I'd eat that kudu. I would not eat the chimpanzee. No. Maybe the elephant. Maybe. I feel like I don't really want to eat an intelligent. They're all kind of semi-intelligent, I guess. But I feel like the higher intelligent being of an elephant, I think I feel less keen to eat. I'd eat a zebra. I hate zebras. I'd eat a zebra, no problem. They're assholes, those things. They're like worse donkeys. Aggressive donkeys, those things. Hate zebras. Buffaloes, lions, giraffes, zebras, and the springboks. Oh, they're springboks. That's what they are. Whatever. I'll eat them. Live on the grasslands farther away. I'd eat the buffaloes too. I've boots made of African buffalo. They're pretty sick. Farther away and south of the equator. The Arab peoples live in the northern part of the continent, but Africa is known chiefly as the home of the black people, which they use a different word, which we're not going to say because it's not acceptable to say that word anymore. Even though it was actually that was the proper term back then. But we're not playing that game. We're not playing that game. Maybe in the future we'll play that game, but right now we're not playing that game. I'm too cautious. When in a couple of years when I'm fed up with the world and I'm old and crouchy and just overall having a bad time, then I'll start saying all the slurs, every slur imaginable. No ethnicity is safe for me in the future. I promise you that. I'll have zero tolerance for anything. For nothing. Everything will bother me. That's what I'm planning on. One day everything's gonna start bothering me, and I'm just gonna let it all out. I'm just gonna say everything. I'm gonna be that guy. No, I'm gonna be that old man. I'm gonna be that old man who's like, oh, yeah, there's people and that people and they're walking in the streets and they're talking and they're saying things I don't understand. That's gonna be me. God willing, that's gonna be me. Oh, I can only dream. Dream such a time where I achieve perfect racism. Racism to everybody. Every racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, homophobia. What else? What are the other ones? Just an overall huge bigot. That's my plan. I'm gonna be the biggest bigot in the world. I'm gonna be the king of the bigots, king of the racists. That's gonna be me one day. Just you wait. Okay, what are we talking about? They are dark-skinned, curly-haired people with. Okay, I'm gonna not finish that sentence either. They belong to many tribes: the Zulus, the Bushmen, the Hottentots. I haven't heard of the Hottentots. I've never heard of those before. The Makalolos, the Buchanas, the Bantus. I've heard of Bantus, and others. There's lots of them. There's less of them now, but there used to be lots of them. There are still lots of them, but you know, colonization happens, and that doesn't end so good for the natives. Tales all the time, basically. Tales old of like 5,000 years old. 5,000 years old tales. You know, everybody gets colonized. You know, the Greeks did it. Oh, who else did it? The Europeans did it. British were really good at it. Spanish. In America, the natives would colonize each other, basically. Like warring tribe stuff. Lots of warring tribes. Very interesting. What else? Where else? China, Mongolia. Holy shit, Mongolia would fucking took over all of China. What else? Russia, maybe? Yeah, I guess Iron Curtain counts as a colonization. I think that counts. Yeah, that counts. What else? The Japanese colonized. Do the Chinese colonize? Did they do that? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. Does it count it? Yeah, they colonize. They still colonize. They're trying to colonize, what was it, Tibet? No, they're trying to colonize Taiwan right now. I think they already colonized Tibet. Oh yeah, they're doing cultural genocide to the Muslim, to the Uyghurs. What are they called? Uyghurs? I don't know what they're called. Yeah, all sorts of colonization and destruction of culture. Yeah, it happens all the time. Classic humans. Ha 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 ha. Also, chimpanzees do that. Chimpanzees do that too. It's crazy. Yeah. It's actually more chimp-like, I would actually have to say. Like war and stuff is very chimp. It's very chimp coded. I think human coded is mercy and justice, whereas chimp coded is war and destruction. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, you feel free to disagree with me because nobody's watching, so feel free to disagree with me. Oh no, actually, one guy's watching, but he's pretty quiet. Feel free to disagree with me. In fact, do disagree with me, and I'll say you're wrong, and then I'll hit you because I don't know how to control I don't know how to regulate myself. I'm crazy. Okay, what are we talking about? Because the climate is warm, they wear few clothes. Same. I also wear few clothes. Often only skirts made of animal skins or grass. Oh, the dream. Black people, which is you're using the other word that's not socially acceptable anymore, love to wear ornaments, rings of ivory. So I'll say Africans. Because this isn't black people. These are Africans. Specifically Africans. We're talking about African tribes as the generalization. This is also generalizing because there's different tribes that wear different stuff. So I wouldn't take this. This is just very general for the story. So like, you know, I'd chill out a bit. When you're the name. Okay. They love to wear ornaments, rings of ivory, and brass around their arms and ankles, and beads around their necks. Some of the tribal warriors use bows and arrows. They carry spears and protect themselves with shields made of dried hides. Dried hide shields are really cool. They work surprisingly well. Like they'll use like multiple layers, and they'll like maybe put some wood in there sometimes. And like they can stop swords, they can stop arrows. It's nuts what they can do. They can't stop English longbows though. Those are crazy. Or crossbows. Those are crazy. Or guns. Or really anything out of Europe. Basically, they're fucked. What are we doing now? The Bantu people in South Africa raise herds of cattle. Oh yeah, we learned about the Bantus in the previous section when they were talking about Diaz and Gamma. They met the Bantus. They were chill. I don't think Gamma liked them though. I think he was kind of hated them. But Bartholomew was like, oh, these guys are epic. South Africa raise herds of cattle and sheep. Other tribes raise crops in small cultivated patches. Others hunt and fish. Their homes are huts with pointed thatched roofs. Africa was one of the last continents into which explorers traveled. Because of its even coastline, there were few good harbors. Men wondered what lay beyond the coastal plains, and there were some bold enough to try to find out. When explorers began to travel inland to learn some of the secrets of this unknown land, it was along the river routes that they traveled. The best known river which led to the interior of Africa was the Nile, and the man who traveled up it was a Scottish doctor, James Bruce. I think he's related to Robert the Bruce. That'd be interesting. I think that'd be cool if he's related to Robert the Bruce. Oh, that's the guy who was like, oh, Scotland's for the Scots or something. I don't remember, Braveheart or whatever. I don't know. I don't care about Scottish people. I'm racist. Remember that. Remember, I'm a racist. Scott, I don't care about Braveheart or whatever. I don't care. Does that mean? No, that just means I don't care. That's making me racist. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Yeah. Racism. Okay, James Bruce, the source of the Nile. Ooh, where does it come from? Where are we getting this water from? Where's the dengue? Where's the malaria? Where did it come from? From the very beginning of history, much was known of the great river Nile in the northern eastern Africa. All of Egypt would be a desert if it were not for the Nile. Along each bank of the river, where there is a strip of rich farmland. Each year, the Nile overflows its banks. When the water drains off the land, a layer of mud remains. This makes the rich soil for the crops. Ooh, and what's that country doing? Is it Ethiopia? Someone's making a big freaking dam for power and stuff. Big freaking dam, and they're gonna screw with the Nile. Like, they're basically gonna fuck up literally all the whole ecosystem for the Egyptians, and it's gonna be like a drought. It's gonna be horrible. But hey, humans are humans. They suck. Everybody fucking sucks. Yeah, everybody's just mean to each other. There's no chill. Nobody's chill. They're all chimp coded move. For those things, when the water, men had traveled far up the Nile for years, but none had reached its source. Is there a better picture? Oh, here we go. Here's a better picture. This makes rich. Yeah, men had traveled far up the Nile for years, but none had reached its source. Some mapmakers said that it arose in the mountains of the moon. Others said that it sprang up somewhere in the Sahara Desert. Of those few who had ventured long distances up the river, some never returned. As we have learned, the dangers for a traveler in this part of Africa were many. The hot sun, the wild animals, a fierce warlike tribes were only a few of the many difficulties facing the traveler. Those who did return had failed to find the source of the Nile. James Bruce believed that the land of Abyssinia held the secret of the Nile source, and he was determined to seek it there. In his diary, he wrote, "I am resolved that this great discovery shall either be achieved by me or remain as it has done for thousands of years, a defiance to all travelers." Ooh, he's got a chip on his shoulder, this guy. Is that the right term? I don't think so. In 1768, Bruce was ready to start on his journey of exploration. The ship which carried him from England sailed southward through the Atlantic Ocean and eastward through the Mediterranean to Egypt. In Cairo. And Cairo's the largest city. Wait, what? What is that? Why jump up? In Cairo, the largest city in Egypt, he gained the friendship of the ruler of the country, who gave him valuable letters of introduction to all the princes, kings, and chieftains whose lands he might visit, asking them to treat Bruce well and give him help. Bruce boarded a river boat at Cairo and began his trip upstream. His boat traveled past the pyramids and Sphinx till it came to the ruins of the once mighty city of Luxor, Thebes, and Karnak. Yeah, at a nearby Arab encampment, a sheikh known as Nimr the Tiger had fallen ill. Bruce was a doctor and knew how to relieve the sick man's pain. And gratitude, opium, lots of opium. Opium is the key. Opium's the key to all your worries and issues. Just how it is. He added that to continue up the river would be suicide for Bruce. The Sheikh's advice was to strike out across the desert to the Red Sea, sail to Abyssinia, and then journey inland. If you look at the badge on 209, oh, let's go look at the page 209. Yeah. Is this the right one? Is it 209? Let me take a little look-see. 209? Oh no, it's this one. Oh, I've been looking at the wrong one the whole time. I'm dumb. It's this guy. This is the one we're looking at. Damn. I wonder what else I missed because I wasn't looking at that map before. You will see it in what part of Africa Abyssinia is. Okay, where is it? Where is it? It's right there. It's right here. So he went like, oh, there's Cairo right here. He's like, oh, I'll go all this way, and I want you to go. I want you to get off here, and I'm gonna go to Abyssinia. Right down here. And I think that's where Ethiopia is. I'm pretty sure. I bet. Oh no, he wants to go off the Red Sea, so he's gonna go here. There, and then he's gonna go, and he's gonna go right there. Joining a caravan, Bruce crossed the desert, across the desolate Nubian desert, where no tree, shrub, or beast was to be seen. He tells us in his diary that there are not even traces of any living creature, neither serpent nor lizard. Wrong. Scorpions. Antelope nor ostrich. Oh, that's sad. I love ostrich. Again, I would eat an ostrich and an antelope. The usual inhabitants of the most dreary deserts. After a week's journey, the caravan reached the little mud-walled village of Qasr on the Red Sea. For safety's sake, Bruce disguised himself as an Arab and traveled by ship through the Red Sea to Massawa. Where's Massawa? Oh, okay, it's right here. It's right down here. It's right down here. Woo. Okay, the seaport and gateway to Abyssinia. Here, the ruler of the city received him with black looks. That means bad. Even when Bruce showed letters, the ruler of Cairo and Nimr, the tiger, however, when messengers from the king of Abyssinia arrived, asking the doctor Bruce to come at once to the capital city of Gondor. Gondor. The beacons are lit. We have to go to Gondor. The king's calling. The ruler in Massawa showed a more friendly manner. Yeah, it's all about who you know. It's like, I know this guy. Oh, you know this guy? I know this guy. Oh, he saved my life. He's my best friend. Oh, I'll stop treating him like garbage doo-doo shit. Just like real life. I guess this is real life. That's how it goes. The journey from the seaport to the capital city took 90 days. That's horrible. That's a horrible time frame. And was so difficult that only a man with good health and an iron will could have stood such an ordeal. Wow, Bruce was so great. I'm Bruce. I'm the best. In my diary, I'm just so great. Look how great I am, because I'm Robert the Bruce. No, James Bruce. Blah, 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 blah. Bruce traveled through deep gorges and along difficult paths until he came to the high plateau. Here he saw great herds of milk-white cattle with long horns and silky hair grazing on the green slopes. He learned that the soil was so fertile that crops of wheat, barley, and peas were harvested 3 times. Ooh, that's good. That's a lot. After passing a range of mountains whose peaks were buried in the clouds, Bruce arrived in the capital city, which stood at a high hill and contained the clay huts of 10,000 families. That's a lot. That's a lot for back then. Bruce arrived at the city of Gondor. At the very moment he was needed most. Oh, I feel like he's embellishing his fucking book, his little diary, I think he's fucking with us, you know. I don't think he's that fucking epic and like, oh, I'm the best, I'm the fucking saint, I'm Jesus H Christ. So freaking Henry? What's H stand for? Henry? Whatever. He's no freaking martyr, Superman, doctor guy. He's full of shit. I'm calling it. I think Bruce is full of shit. Most. A terrible epidemic of smallpox was raging. Ooh, that's not good. Rich and poor alike were dying. Even the royal children were ill. The king begged Bruce to help the suffering people. Bruce, please. I know you just came, but I know you're a doctor, and I know how great you are, and I want to suck your dick. But like, please help all these people with their smallpox. I love you. Bruce used only the simplest of remedies. He opened all the doors and windows. What's he doing? He's just good vibes of the houses and washed the patients with water and vinegar. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. In a few days, many of the sick recovered. I don't know, buddy. Soon Bruce was in high favor in Gondor. Okay. I don't know. Does vinegar help with smallpox even? I don't think this is real. Does vinegar help smallpox? Vinegar as protective against, oh, it is. A protective against smallpox. Okay, it just alleviates itching. Yeah, so he did nothing basically. He just did nothing. Okay, that's good to know. Bruce is full of shit. Soon Bruce was in high favor in Gondor. A few weeks later, he set out on his journey to find the source of the Nile. One day he met a native chief, Faisal, who told him that the journey to the Nile's source would take at least a year. Faisal also tried to frighten Bruce by telling him that the savage warriors would eat him. Maybe. You never know, really. There are a lot of cannibal warlords in Africa. I don't know if they still are, but I know they're like about 10 years ago, there's a lot of cannibal warlords. I remember watching an interview on Vice where this guy was like eating human ribs or something. And he was like, yeah, I became a Christian, and so like I stopped eating human flesh. But then this guy was selling me ribs, and I was like, oh, these taste really like human, like human ribs. And it turns out they were. The end. When Faisal saw that none of these things discouraged the white man, he gave Bruce a fine gray horse and 7 rough-looking fellows as guards. These fellows, said Faisal, are all chiefs. With them you may go through our country, as if it were your own. No man will hurt you. This guy's fucking full of shit. There's no way everybody's like, oh, you're the best, Bruce. James Bruce, I love you. Oh, you're the best, James Bruce. You rub me full of vinegar. Just rub vinegar all over my body, all over my little pox. Oh, Brucey. Oh, thank you for the vinegar. Oh, thank you for the vinegar. Oh, put it more vinegar, more. Just put it all over me. Put it all over me. You're a freaking saint. Yeah. Live the country as if it were your own. No man will hurt you. As each day passes, traveling became more difficult for the explorers. Tropical rains drenched his clothes, and countless insects bit and stung him until he could hardly stand the pain. Footsore and weary, Bruce at length came to the waters of the Nile. At the place where he reached it, the river was shallow and less than 80 yards in width. The natives warned Bruce that the Nile was sacred to them, and that he must remove his shoes before crossing it. Ooh, just the Bible. For many days, he journeyed upstream. Now the river banks were only 6 yards apart. As Bruce approached the source of the river, his excitement grew to fever pitch. At last, he reached the place where a tiny spring of water bubbled up from the soft green grass. He penned these words. This is Bruce, how Bruce talks. He's Scottish. I have reached the source of the Nile on November 4th, 1770. I stood on the spot which had baffled men for 3,000 years, Though a mere private Briton, I triumph here in my mind over kings and their armies. Yeah. It's just a wee spring here. Bruce did not forget to thank God for his protections through many dangers and for bringing success to his expedition. Then, stooping down, he filled a coconut. Where do you get that from? Where do you get the coconut from? Shell with Nile water and drank the health of His Majesty. Drink to the health of His Majesty, King George III of England. Here, King George, take my little coconut liquid. Bruce decided to trace the river down to the Mediterranean Sea. In crossing the Nubian Desert, he suffered from the terrible heat, the choking sand, and attacks by the natives. After many adventures, he arrived in Cairo, and from there journeyed to England. He arrived home in 1773. That's a freaking long journey. Damn, James Bruce. You know, I was gonna give you shit earlier, but really, you know, you're a pretty cool guy. That's pretty crazy. So where do you go? Where's the Nubian desert? Where's the Nubian desert here? If I look over there, there's Gonda Kora. Uganda? Yeah, Uganda. Yeah. Victoria, Nubian desert. Yeah. So did he really make it? I don't know if he really made it to the freaking source of the map. I guess he did because he was in Ethiopia. Yeah. Bruce brought back with him fine maps of the River Nile. Later, he wrote an account of his travels. People in England read his exciting stories of the black-skinned people of Abyssinia, of their homes and how they lived. The tales he had to tell were so strange that many refused to believe that Bruce had ever been to Abyssinia. Yeah, probably if I was living at the time, I'd probably not believe that too. Honestly, I'm like, it feels embellished. Others were interested and formed a society, the African Association, with the purpose of gathering funds for further exploration into the vast unknown continent. That's cool. That's always cool to explore. Exploring is fun. Adventure is fun. Bruce was wrong, however, in his belief that he had found the source. Yeah, see, I told you it wasn't really the fucking Nile. What he had discovered was the source of the Blue Nile, the main stream. The White Nile flows from the Lake Victoria, Nyanza, and almost 100 years were to pass before it was discovered. Yeah, I told you I knew he wasn't. He wasn't even close. He wasn't even close to the source. He's just full of shit. Fucking Bruce. Dumb. Oh yeah, so here's Bruce and Busy. He's got little cattle. You know, those white cattle. Remember seeing those cattle? No, we're not there yet. I don't think we're there yet. Do we see that? Let me see. Let me do a little look-see. Now we didn't get that part yet. Mungo Park, down the Niger. After James Bruce. After James Bruce. Let's go back to the map, actually. After James Bruce returned from his explorations along the Nile, interest in the continent of Africa increased. Men wondered if it would prove to be a continent of great riches. In England, the African Association was formed, whose purpose was to send out explorers to journey inland and find out more about the unknown continent, its rivers, its people, and its wealth. There's gold. There's gold there. There's a lot of gold. There's a lot of gold. And cobalt. Yeah, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in Central Africa. Woo! From time to time, people in Europe had heard of a wide river in the heart of the Africa, which was called the Niger. On its banks, it was said, stood Timbuktu, a city of golden roofs, which was the capital of an Arab empire. Wrong. I know better. From all the parts of the vast Sahara Desert, they were told caravans journeyed on their way to this great city to trade in salt, gold dust, elephant tusks, and Negro slave. Oh, I said the word. Uh-oh. African slaves. Forgive me. Or not, I don't know. You could cancel me. I don't give a shit. Parties of men were sent out by the African Association to try to find the river Niger. Some were never heard of again. Others returned home and declared that the Arabs would not let the Christians pass through their lands. In spite of these setbacks, the African Association sought more volunteers to go to the Dark Continent. I don't believe there's Arabs that far deep in there. There might be, but I don't think so. There's pretty like controlled by tribes and stuff. A young man named Mungo. That's a name? Damn, that's a crazy name. Mungo Park offered to try to solve the mystery of the River Niger. Like James Bruce, he was a Scotsman. What kind of fucking name is Mungo? Who names their kid Mungo? That's insane. Damn. A Mungo Park. Name. Mungo name. Kennington. What's the name Mungo short for? Mid-year one. Fainugami. Fainugu. What the frick? Sure, whatever. Whatever, you whatever. I don't get that at all. Oh, he's Scotsman. Where were we? Parties of men were sent out by the African Association. Yeah. A young man named Mungo Park offered to try to, like James Bruce, he was a Scotsman and a doctor. And a doctor. Who wished for a lifetime of adventure and exploration. Don't we all? Wish for a lifetime of adventure? On his journey to the interior of Africa, Mungo Park not only planned to find the river Niger, he hoped to be the first white man to see the Arab city of Timbuktu. I would like, well, get ready for you to get your dreams and hopes dashed, your goals in life just ruined. From England, Park sailed south through the Atlantic Ocean to Jellyfree. Is there a place the Jellyfree on the map? Jellyfishing. A little town at the mouth of the river Gambia in West Africa. Where is it? There it is. Oh, it's over there. Hey, there you are. There we go. Jellyfree. Hello. Okay. From here, he planned to travel inland in an easterly direction. At Jellyfree, he watched helpless slaves being shipped to the West Indies to work on sugar plantations. Feh. We don't like that. And I guess he didn't like that either. In addition to this human cargo, quantities of gold and ivory were loaded on ships bound for ports in Europe. Oh, where'd they get that from? Shortly after he arrived in the town, Park fell ill with fever. While he was recovering, he learned to speak the language of the African people who lived in that part of the country. After 6 months, he was ready to set out. It was November, and the right time of year to travel. Because the heavy rains were over and the crops had been harvested, Mungo Park had chosen two good-natured, friendly Africans, Johnson and Demba, to be his companions. Park rode on horseback. The Africans traveled on donkeys. Yeah, it's all like that. Their supplies included a change of clothes, quantities of food, beads, tobacco, some pistols, an umbrella, and thermometer and a compass. The party journeyed along the banks of the river Gambia. Dangers lurked everywhere. Alligators and hippopotamuses lay hid in the deep muddy swamps, and poisonous snakes lay coiled in the branches of trees overhead, ready to drop on the travelers. When Park visited one native village, the woman told him of a strange and terrible creature called Mumbo Jumbo. Ooh. I think that was all Mumbo Jumbo, let me tell you what. This monster had a horrible face, great horns, and was clothed in the skins of wild animals. Whenever a woman in the village was bad-tempered or quarrelsome, the men took her out into the forest at night and called upon the evil spirit to beat her. That's wonderful. You better watch out, or get Mumbo Jumbo after you. As a result, Mumbo Jumbo kept the women of the village in order. Park found out that the spirit was only one of the men of the village disguised. What a horrible thing. What a horrible piece of shit. These guys suck. In another village, Park was given a feast by the black monarch to whom he presented his immense umbrella. What the hell does that mean? What's an immense umbrella? Jeez. Because this is a very important occasion, Park had worn his best coat with bright brass buttons. The king was so delighted with the coat that he forced Park to hand it over to him. The dark-skinned ladies of the court were filled with curiosity when they learned that Park's skin was all pure white. They vowed that his mother must have dipped him into milk every day when he was a baby. The explorer made his way from village to village. On the whole, he found that the Africans were kind and helpful, but the Arab traders who hated the Christians tried to hinder his journey. That's classic. Everybody's, people are nice when you want to meet them, but like when you're going and you're stepping in on my fucking trade routes and shit, and you're gonna fuck with my trade routes. Fuck you. Who hated the Christians tried to hinder his journey. Bands of robbers attacked the party so often that Park decided to hide by day and travel at night. However, in darkness, wild beasts were plentiful, and as Park and his men moved slowly through the gloomy forest, they had to be on alert for attacks by leopards, hyenas, and lions. Yeah, Africa's not a safe place. Leaving the banks of the river Gambia, Park traveled out eastward. From the Africans, he learned that he was nearing a hot, sandy part of the country, and beyond that lay the big water, which he was seeking. He also learned that he would be in the kingdom of the Arabs, who hated white men. From this land, you will never come out alive, they warned him. In spite of their advice, Mungo Park and his two friends continued their journey. Hot, scorching desert winds from the northeast parched their lips. The sun shone down pitilessly on them. During the day, the air felt hot as an oven. It's brutal. When the weary travelers sighted a settlement, they hastened to it. Park's spirits fell, however, when he discovered that it was an Arab village. It was ruled over by a chief named Ali. That's a very common name. I don't be more specific, please. Who accused the white men of being a spy and held him a prisoner for many weeks. The jail was a hut made of corn stalks. For days at a time, Park never saw food of any kind. His only companion in the prison was a wild hog. Ugh. I wonder what he did to that hog. I guess it's don't ask, don't tell in the prisons. This was the greatest insult the Arabs could think. Oh, it's not really that bad for a Christian. I think it's more bad for Arabs than it is for Christians. This is the greatest insult the Arabs could think of for a Christian, because the people despise pigs. Yeah. The Arabs don't like pigs. They also don't like dogs. Not Arabs, sorry, Muslims. I don't know. Not all Arabs are Muslims. Some are different religions. Some are Christians, I think. There's also Arab Jews, I'm pretty sure. Oh, what else is there? Zoroastrians, Druze. There's more. What am I missing? I know I'm missing some. I'm not going to learn up on my culture, Middle Eastern cultures. The women of the village were so inquisitive that they came in droves to stare at the white man, and they even counted his fingers and toes to see if he had the same number as they had. In the hot, dirty hut, without food or water, Park knew he would soon die if he did not escape. One dark night, when the guards had dozed off to sleep, Park escaped from the prison and crept through the quiet village. He was able to find only one of his servants, Demba, and so now it's his servant and not his friend, Damak and Jalada Tanaga, and his horse. And with them, he made his escape. Can we drink? Park knew that he must find water to drink. Fortunately, lightning flashed across the night sky, and thunder rolled. Soon rain began to fall. Park spread his clothes on the ground and lay down, letting the cool rain pour on his parched skin. Then, wringing out his clothes, he poured the water down his dry throat. Next morning, he was cared for by an old African woman who took pity on him and led him to her hut, where she gave him broiled fish to eat. Well, that's nice. I like some broiled fish. For several days, Park rested until he regained his strength. From the old woman, he learned that the big water was just a short distance away, and that on the banks of the river was Sego, a large Arab town. When he said farewell, Park gave the woman 2 brass buttons in return for her kindness. Well, that's nice. In a few hours, Mungo Park reached the banks of the Niger she had journeyed so far to find. If you look at the map on page 209, you'll see where the river is in Africa. So there's the Niger River there, right there. I guess he went Park. Yes, here's the dotted line. The black dotted line's Park. Went boop 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 boop, and he's over here, Timbuktu. Sego. I hastened to the so where the river is in Africa. In his diary, Park wrote, "I hastened to the brink, and having a drink of the water, lifted up my thanks and prayer to the great ruler of all things, for having thus far crowned my journey with success." Okay, good for you. The Arab town of Sego was one of great splendor. In it lived over 30,000 people. Here, Park was surprised to see solidly built clay houses, 2 stories in height. Mungo Park knew that he would have to present a gift of money to the chief of Sego if he did not wish to be imprisoned and starved. In this part of Africa, the people used small shells as money. In exchange for his horse, his compass, and some pistols, he obtained 5,000 shells. Woo. That's crazy. Oh, and there's a picture of a native village. It's right here. That's a nice place. That looks pretty nice. Also, where the native. Oh no, it's not. It's just a village. Just an illustration by Leo E. Scott. When he presented this money to the chief, he was treated kindly, given food, and was told that the city of Timbuktu was some distance down the Niger River from Sego. Thanking the chief for his kindness and help, Park and Demba paddled down the waters of the Niger. On many islands far from shore, they found families of Africans living. These people told Park that they had come here to be safe from attacks by savage wild animals, especially lions. As Park pressed on towards Timbuktu, he was faced with more and more difficulties. Mosquitoes stung him. He fell ill with malaria fever, which was one of the great enemies of white men in the trouble. As great enemy of everybody in trouble. Malaria sucks. You shit your brains out. He lay in the heart of the jungle for 500 miles away from any white settlement. He had only the clothes he wore, a ragged pair of breeches, a shirt, and a tattered pair of shoes. He still had his hat, which shaded his head from the sun, and in whose crown were all of his precious notes and drawings. His last friend, Demba, had died, and he was all alone. Brutal, bud, brutal. Park, you're fucked. You're fucked. If he continued this journey, he knew that he would die. No one in Britain would ever know that he had reached the Niger. Wisely, Park decided to turn back to the coast. He fell in with a caravan of slave dealers who made him promise that in return for help, he would be well paid for their troubles. 9 months later, worn out and ill, Park reached Jellyfree, from which he had set out. The townspeople did not recognize this poor, thin, white skeleton of a man as Mungo Park. Long ago, he had been given up for dead. On his return to England, Park wrote a book which was widely read there and in Europe. In it, he told of the friendly, gentle Africans who had given him so much help. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Okay. Oh, my phone's dying. That's not good. That ain't good. Come on, charge. Uh-oh. I think my phone charge is gonna freaking crap out. Let's hope it doesn't die. Oh well. If it dies, it dies. If he dies, he dies. Rocky quote. For a book, and he told him of the friendly and gentle Africans who had given him so much help. And of the Arabs who had did everything in their power to prevent him from traveling in their land. He described the long lines of helpless African slaves, chained together, being taken by cruel Arabs to the coast. Looks sounds like this book's a little biased towards Christianity. Who would have thunk that the 1950s they would teach heavily about Christianity and really hate any other culture. More important of all, he described the majestic river Niger, which flowed eastward through the heart of Africa. Mungo Park, second journey. He went again? What an idiot. In the year 1805, Park journeyed out once more to Africa. This time, he was sent there by British government. His party was made up of 4 Englishmen and an escort of 44 British soldiers, who proved to be quite unsuited for the journey of this kind. 48 donkeys were brought to carry the supplies. So eager was Park to set out that he started his journey at the wrong time of the year. It was June, which is the beginning of the rainy season. The country was a sea of mud. The donkeys were more trouble than help. They kicked off their loads and stubbornly lay down, refusing to move. The native carriers were untrustworthy and deserted, taking with them much valuable. Ooh, that's not good. Unused to long marches through the African jungles, many of the soldiers sickened and died. Park's African servant, Isaac, was severely injured when he was attacked by a crocodile. Of the large party, only 7 white men survived. In spite of all these difficulties, Park still pressed on. He's an idiot. Park's a fucking idiot. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He just wants to get things done. He's a stupid little guy. When he reached the Niger, he got permission from the Arabs to travel on the river. He fitted up a canoe, which he had called his Majesty's schooner, Joliba, and started down the broad river with his few remaining followers. Isaac, his servant, was sent back to the coast, with his diary telling of the progress which Park had made, and with letters to Park's wife and friends. No word was received from Park for 5 years. At the end of that time, Isaac was chosen to head a search party to find any trace he could of his master. He learned from a native guide that Park had been attacked several times by unfriendly tribes. It was reported by natives that they had seen Park in the Joliba entering some rapids farther down the river. No one is certain how Park met his death. He may have been killed by natives, or his boat may have struck a rock in the rapids and upset, drowning him and his companions. Perhaps Park never reached Timbuktu, the city with a strange-sounding name. However, he did lead the way for others to follow him. 20 years later, 2 Englishmen named Lander journeyed down the Niger and its mouth and found it emptied into the waters into the Atlantic Ocean. Today, merchants travel without difficulty on the waters of the Niger. Motor caravans journey overland from the coast to the city of Timbuktu. Okay. The journey from West Africa to Timbuktu, which took Mungo Park so many weary months, is now made by planes in a few hours. You died for nothing. You died for nothing, Mungo. I think that's I think we could stop there. I think that's good. Yeah, I think we're good there. That was a lot of reading. See how much left is left in this many pages. Ooh, that's gonna be a lot of pages. Maybe I should read a little bit more. How long is this story? It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is a lot. Yeah, let's save that for later. So next time we're gonna do David Livingstone, Henry Stanley, and the source of the White Nile. We're gonna learn about all those guys later. Right now we're gonna end it for reading. I think I'm gonna play a video game or something because I'm kind of tired. I want to chill a little. It's whatever. It's whatever. Yeah. It is what it is, you know. It is what it is. You can't win them all. I'm gonna switch back to Bossa Nova. I really don't like this music. Where's my Bossa Nova at? Where's the Bossa Nova at? Okay, let's end you, Mr. Meeble Music, and we'll put on the Bossa Nova. Yeah. What should I do? Maybe I'll do some drawing. I want to make a PNG tuber. I think that's what I'll do. Let's change the stream to. Oh no, let's end this. Should I end the stream? Yeah, I'll end the stream, then I'll restart it. I'm gonna chill out for a bit, and then I'm gonna restart the stream. I think maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm freaking doing. Let's close the book. I close the book of that chapter. That. Yeah, let's end it.